Hey there, entrepreneurs. My name is Sushant, and welcome to Trep Talks. This is the show where I interview successful e-commerce entrepreneurs, business executives, and thought leaders, and ask them questions about their business story, and also dive deep into some of the strategies and tactics that they have used to start and grow their businesses. And today, I'm really excited to welcome Nicolas Tranchant to the show. Nicolas is the founder of VivaLatina Jewelry. Uh, this business creates and sells high-end custom-made jewelry to clients worldwide. And today I'm going to ask Nicolas a few questions about his entrepreneurial journey and some of the strategies and tactics that he has used to start and grow his business. So thank you so much for joining me today at Trip Talk, Nicolas.
Hello, Sushant. I'm glad to speak to you.
So this is our second time. I forgot to hit the record button, but it's okay. We'll go through it again. So I know that we were talking a little bit about your story and how you got started, and a little bit of a background of how you met your girlfriend and what really motivated you to start your business. Can you share a little bit about that story again, and share a little bit about this is kind of, to me it sounds like it's really a business, a passion for love rather than anything else. So can you share a little bit about how you got started?
Yeah, it's not a common story. Well, I was living in France back in 2012. I was already living with my Mexican wife for 4 years in France. She joined me from Mexico to France, and I was working in the aerospace industry because I'm a mechanical engineer. And my wife, she's a doctor in Mexico. So when she arrived in France, she had a lot of restriction to be working as a doctor. In fact, it was impossible for her. And after trying a lot to start a life together in France, it was very difficult for her to adapt with the job. So she decided to go back to Mexico. And I was young and in love, so I decided to quit everything and to go with her. I was really always interested by adventure. I'd been traveling before, and I was quite happy in my job in the aerospace industry, but this is, you don't project 40 years in the same company, and this is not life. So I said, if I need to make a big mistake, this is now and not after. So I quit everything. I went with her, and we settled in Puerto Vallarta on the Pacific coast of Mexico. It's a really nice place. We live where a lot of people are dreaming to live, so that's nice for us. And I decided to start a business, a jewelry business. And this is the main reason I really made the step to quit my job and to start a business to follow my wife to Mexico.
I mean, it really, I mean, I'm still smiling because it's really a love story. And it's hard to find these kind of stories these days, because it's like people meet so many people these days, and it's making this kind of a commitment. It's like it is rare, I would say. But
I've been told so. It's
That's great. So coming back to your business, so you're selling jewelry, and this jewelry is a little bit more on the high end. Can you share a little bit about your, the products you're selling, and how did you come to these products specifically?
Yeah, of course. So in the year 2007, 2008, I was traveling in South America. I'd been living a year in Mexico before, and I noticed that a lot of people in South America, the people making good livings, there was a businessman. Were not the guy with a lot of studies. And I noticed also that every Latin woman always have the last cell phone, and she had the jewelry she wanted. So they had I noticed like a market. I was not very interested in business, but I noticed a market and how the things were moving on in South America. And in France, I'm from an employee's background, so I never got educated about business. So it was quite my education to see how the business was moving in South America. So this was a seed idea, or maybe one day I will be setting up a business. And while I was in France with my Mexican wife, and she was not able to work as a doctor, we tried together to set up a jewelry business in France. The idea was to to import silver jewelry from Mexico and to resell it online in France. And the fact is, I had some friends in Tasco in Mexico, where it's a big silver market. They in the past they had mines, silver mines, and now they don't have any more mines of silver, but they do have a lot of jewelers producing in big batches to resell worldwide. So I started to work with a friend like this to import goods from Mexico and to set up an online business in France. And while I was doing that while I was working full time in the aerospace industry. So I didn't have much time, and I never had the commitment. To succeed or to die. So I never the business never took off. And we started like that. And so when we decided to come back to Mexico together, the easiest way for me to start a business was to pursue this jewelry business idea and to focus 100% of my time to make it grow and so the business could take off.
Awesome. One question that I have is, when you think about jewelry itself, and I think you were saying there's in the jewelry business, there's a lot of competition, right? Is there a concern for customers who are buying, let's say, jewelry online, because your business is completely online, right? And you're selling like, more of a high end, 18 karat gold and silver kind of items. Is there a concern in customers if I buy something from like an online store, which is located somewhere in Mexico, or they don't even know where it is located, they have paid for the item up front, it's a significant amount of money. Are they going to actually get the real stuff, or it could be fake, or it could not be the good quality? How do you overcome that objection? Like, how do you persuade people, or market your business in a way so that a customer looking at the item online knows that they're going to get the genuine stuff rather than like something?
It's a concern I had during a long time. Well, it's totally different. I've got 10 years in business right now, so it's very different now than when I was starting. When I was starting, it was quite difficult. Right now, people are used to buy online, and if you have a good reputation, it's quite easy to sell. Back then, what I was doing, I was trying to compete on price, so to make it interesting. I always thought not to make money, but to make clients. Because I had nothing, I had no background, I had no money, I needed to start somewhere. So my starting point was I need to get clients. So these clients gonna speak to their friends, so they're gonna come back with me. So I was always more interested to make a deal than making money. It's not the best way to start a business, because I've been struggling a lot at the beginning. But I mean, this was the hook, and after that, I was just 100% focused on giving satisfaction to my clients. It means I could never conceive to have a failure on delivery or to have a client upset, because I knew I was making my own reputation that I'm building since 10 years, for 10 years. So this is the way I started to make things happen. I have to notice that at the start, I was making custom jewelry. I still make custom jewelry, but custom jewelry was really a big chunk of my business back then. It was like 80%, because I was not able to resell silver jewelry very easily. So it was custom jewelry. And custom jewelry, what I did, I was asking for 50% payment upfront and the rest after. So if you try to resell like $400 jewelry, the client just have to pay $200. So it's easier to make like an agreement like that. And after, I was sending the picture of the finished jewelry to the clients to show him we made the project, it's finished, it is exactly as he wanted, and he can pay me the rest to get the jewelry. So it was an easier way to make like a sort of contract. To be able to get the money to start the project and to ship the jewelry to the clients now. Nowadays, it's very different because I've got a lot of, first of all, I've got a lot of traffic on my website. The French website, I've got like between 40 and 45,000 people a month.
Wow.
I've got a lot of educational content. So I've already have people, they know me for years because they've seen jewelry, they've seen articles about me. And I've got a very, very good reputation online on with my clients and with TrustPilot. So every time a client is quite reluctant, I can show him what the other clients say about my services. And also after that, I've got a blog. I mean, the blog is a very big part of my lead generation. I just detail the making of the jewelry we make. Because you've got a lot of people, they do sell jewelry, but they don't make it. And since the beginning, I started my own workshop. I wanted to focus on the jewelry workshop, so the clients in France could dive in the workshop here in Mexico. So they see the tools, they see my guys, my employees, they see the steps of making the jewelry. So it's not like it's not a cheap website with just generic pictures. I've got my own pictures. I write my own articles about every subject online. So I really deep dive in the information I provide to the web users and to the clients to make it easier for them to get educated and to ask questions. So it's a very, very heavy work for 10 years. But I can sell jewelry worth from $500 to $5,000 because of that. So, and that's why it works in France, and now I'm doing it in the US, and this year I'm gonna start to do it in Mexico.
Wow, awesome. And the reason you started with custom jewelry at the beginning was because if you were to start like a regular jewelry business, it would require a very heavy capital investment. Was that like one of the main reasons that you started with custom jewelry? So, you know, someone would order a jewelry, they would pay half the amount up front. That will help you to create the item, and then you can basically get the other half.
Not at
also.
all. Not at all.
No?
I didn't even thought about that. I really started my business failing in a lot of ways. I didn't know my market, and I didn't know how to proceed to a market study. I just jumped in the water and tried what I could. And after getting some traffic on my website, I started my first goal was to generate traffic on my website. I had 1 or 2 clients that asked me to make custom jewelry for them. But it was not because I was offering the service. It was because they asked me. And this is where the idea came into my mind. So I tried to do it. So back then, I'm speaking like 8-9 years ago. I didn't have my own jewelry workshop. So I started to work with other jewelers downtown, and to try to make them to give them the work so I could sell the jewelry custom made for them. And this is how I started. I started with few clients. I started to see that it was profitable. It was a good business, and I started to make the promotion of this kind of services. And I started to have some more clients. So having some success in this direction, I improved my marketing, and I worked more on producing content in this direction. And this is the reason why I started to have some more clients and business in custom jewelry. And so it was not planned for me. It was my clients that showed me the way, what they needed. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it because I have clients for that.
Do you use any of your engineering skills in your business at all?
Sorry, I didn't understand you.
Do you use any of your engineering skills in your business at all? Because you are engineer by profession. That was your education.
For the making or for the marketing?
For anything.
Yeah. Well, the 3D printer, I built it. I mean, the guy I bought the 3D printer from, He's a technical guy, so he sells kits, but he doesn't sell the machine, so he sells me the parts. And I had made all the structure in wood, and to build the 3D printer, to make the settings and to make it work. All the it's not engineering, but all the furniture of my workshop, I made them on my own because I had no money, so it was a good way to save money. I bought the tools and I made all the 12 furnitures to be able to work. And every time I need something, I do consider maybe to improving some stuff or making it in spite of buying it. Well, now I don't have any more time, so I try to buy stuff because it's easier to. I don't have time, so I just want to focus on marketing. And if I need to buy something, it's easier for me to buy it. But generally speaking, the whole structure of the business is to be able to do the most qualitative work as Europe, but with the lowest cost possible. So I don't buy fancy stuff. I don't buy a generic jewelry brands for the process making. And I run my computers with very normal computers. I don't have the high-tech computers. And I use freelancers from Eastern Europe, from Asia. But the fact is, I know what I want, and I know how to do the job. So I can give the job to someone, and I will be able to see the quality of the job. I don't require to work with someone in the US or France just to hope to have a good quality job. I know how to find the people working with a very good quality. So I can find someone with a very competitive price and a very qualitative work. So that's what I do.
So yeah, I mean that definitely seems like you're very disciplined in your business in terms of managing cost and how where you spend money.
In fact, it was more a necessity than a plan again, because I started with absolutely no money, so I had no choice. So I started like this, and with the years, I just discovered that I was very, very, very competitive because thinking like this, I had no way to spend money in a very expensive 3D printer. For example, the first 3D printer I bought was 4,000 euros. And it was a very big step for me, a very huge step for me. But after I'm an engineer, seeing the flaws of the 3D printer, after 1 year, I decided to resell it. And I bought another one for 2,500 euros. And after 1 year and a half with this one, I saw the flaws. I found the third 3D printer that a guy was making in his garage. I mean, who in his mind has the idea to buy a 3D printer to a guy in France in his garage? But I already knew the technology. I had the background as a mechanical engineer, and I was seeing, like, with the video and the technical stuff he was sending to me, that it was really a very good opportunity. And this 3D printer cost me like $650 with shipping. And the same machine from France for the jewelry quality I require is 65,000 euros. And it can fail. I need the seller I was talking to for the machine told me the best option would be to buy two. And I no money to buy two machines that can fail. So I bought a $650 machine that don't fail, never fail. And that's why I'm very competitive. One of the reasons.
So you mentioned that your biggest market right now is France.
Yeah.
And you also said that your the best marketing that you do is through your blogging. Can you share a little bit about the customers, the kind of customers that buy from your e-commerce store? Because I'm assuming like France, given that it is very fashionable market, there's no shortage of businesses selling jewelry there. How do you, I mean, is there like a specific kind of a customer persona that purchases from you? What is the, like, do they, before they buy from you, like, do they contact you? Do they ask questions? How does the sale occur? Because I mean, the jewelry is a kind of a thing where a person usually likes to see it in their hand. They want to try it to see how it looks and things like that, which is obviously not possible in an e-commerce situation. So can you share a little bit about your sales cycle? How do you find the customer? Who is the customer? And how do they actually purchase it?
Okay, so I'm not a marketing expert. I just learned marketing on while I was doing it. I don't have an ideal client's persona because I've never been able to manage a typical profile of my clients. I've been working with marketers that do speak about building a persona. The way I think it's very straightforward and simple. Is for me, the ideal persona is someone that's looking for jewelry online with the intention to buy. So thanks to that, my goal is to find the keywords they're going to use to answer the question and the need. So I'm not trying to sell to people that want information online and want to buy in a shop. I'm really focused on people that are looking to buy online. So I'm just starting with the keyword research. I'm very, very picky right now for keyword research. I've got 10 years of failing, so I know what works now. And I focus on building a funnel on my website, thanks to the blog. It focused on two things on the blog. It's first is to find new leads that want information online about jewelry. It can be about gemstones, it can be about process, it can be about the quality of gold, it can be how to clean your jewelry, how to make a certain type of jewelry also. And after that, this gives information to my clients, and they they discover the I don't know how to say it. I'm a professional. They discover how professional we are in giving information and showing how we make a jewelry. And expertise, after that, we focus. You mix that with a very good pictures about the workshop and with a very good content in the article. I mean, if I analyze my competition, as you said, I've got two kinds of competitors. I've got big brands. They are big brands, jewelry brands. They are more like marketing agencies selling jewelry. They don't make the jewelry. Or you have small jewelers. They usually don't do nothing. They don't do nothing, and they don't know nothing about online marketing. So I'm right in the middle. I'm a small guy with a lot of knowledge in SEO marketing and with a tool shop, with a workshop for me. And I'm showing everything to the client. So when people doesn't know me, when someone don't know me, he can know a lot just surfing on the blog, checking the pictures of the jewelry. And usually what they say is that we don't offer the same kind of jewelry as others. And after that, we make custom jewelry. So we make jewelry that others don't do. And if you find a jeweler that do make custom jewelry, it just shows the finished jewelry. What I do, I show the project before, the drawing of the client. I think one of my best articles is showing the drawing of the client. That is not very beautiful, but I show what we can do in CAD modeling with this drawing and what we can do in 3D printing after casting and finishing the jewelry. So what is very interesting for the client is discovering all the steps from day one to the finish line, and they can project themselves with their own project. So it's a very easy way for them to imagine what they would like, and I'm just the guy that help them to materialize their ideas. And you know, you have big brands. You don't speak to someone in particular. You just speak to an employee. With me, they speak with a business owner. And I'm very concerned to have success in my business, to give satisfaction to my clients because this is my business. So they are very happy to speak to a real human. There's no IA, there's no chat on my business. If you speak to someone, he's with me. And if there's a problem, I'm going to solve it because I've got a workshop at my disposal. So if I will have a problem with the jewelry or with the clients, I can solve it because right now, in the next 10 minutes, I can say the priority is this clients, we're going to solve it. So this is what other companies don't do.
So I think that's a really great value proposition, I guess, for a certain kind of person who's looking for a very specific kind of a design that they can't find in a regular retail store. So, they're doing research on the internet and they find, your store because, you SEO optimize those keywords. And then on your store, on your blog, you show them the whole process. So you're kind of creating your expertise. And then from there, they can talk to you and, discuss the project, and you can basically create their project. And you have a lower cost of the craftsmanship. So, maybe they get a little bit of a discount on, on that also. So okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and one important point also is, for example, for the production cost. Sometimes I've got clients, they want a jewelry they've seen in other places. The cheaper the jewelry, the less competitive we are, because if you're talking about a cheap gold jewelry or silver jewelry that is being made in the US or in India, for example, they make a lot of jewelry there. We cannot compete with the volume of batch of pieces they make in one batch. So for $100, $200 jewelry, we are not competitive. I tried with some clients, we're not competitive. But every time you speak about a big piece of jewelry with a lot of workmanship, this is where we are the best. So the funny thing is the more expensive the jewelry, the cheaper we are for the clients. It means the difference in price with the US or with France is phenomenal. And this helped me a lot to build my reputation, because those people, they know other people from the same socio-economical level. So for recommendation, I've got my clients like this.
I mean, I'm from India, and I know that it's a big jewelry culture, and it's like you go to the market and you find these, because it's such an old culture, and there's like these jewelry almost families, right? They're coming from generations after generations, passing knowledge. It's like you can create. It's almost like most people who are looking for gold jewelry or any kind of jewelry. Gold, I think, is very popular. They basically go to these shops and they can show them samples, and they do the same thing. They custom order it, and they can create the finest necklaces and everything. So it's kind of like a part of the Indian culture, but I think you're bringing that kind of custom jewelry making in other parts in France also, so which is very interesting.
Well, the fact is, I do sell jewelry, but I see more like offering a service, because obviously someone from other country could offer the same service, but it needs to speak French for the French clients. So in this particular transaction, the people are looking for jewelry, but they need someone they can trust to speak about what they need, what they don't need, and someone to answer the question. So, for example, I've got some clients. I can, for custom jewelry projects, I can have like up to 5 emails. It's very quick. It's nothing. And some of them, it's like 50 emails just to set up the business, to set up the details, what they want, their preoccupation. So after 50 emails with someone that wants something, and you offer him an opportunity to solve his problem and to have the jewelry he wants, it's very funny how close relationship you can feel, because I do know what he wants. He used to talk to me, and we have built like confidence between us. So it's a very funny relationship, because even if I don't see my clients, I've got very good relationship with them because of the number of emails we can exchange for the project.
And that's very interesting, because if their friends in the future want something similar, they will praise, they will recommend and praise your services, because they'll say, I had such a great experience, because, and they'll tell all the great things about you. You're so responsive and you take care of, every need that they have. And so hopefully it helps drive some word of mouth business also.
It helps a lot. It helps a lot. In fact, when you see the comments on my Trustpilot account about the business, it's very funny. I had some clients writing like 1-page comments. it's not every company that so much comments like this so long from the clients. And the funny thing is how much they are talking about trust and confidence and human relationship. I mean, at the end, it's a business with jewelry, but it's just a commodity because really the people are looking for a solution, what they need, a custom-made jewelry on a service. And this is, I can see clearly, it was not planned also, it was not my plan, but I can see that for what's important for the clients is to find someone able to do the stuff and to give the service they need. So I feel it's very important for me to be able to still talking to the clients, answering to the emails, and giving them the answers they are looking for very, very quickly, in fact, because I do answer to the clients in like less than 24 hours. So every time I speak to a big company and they come to me after 48 or 72 hours, I'm like, how can they make business? Because it's not the way to deal with the clients. I do deal with my clients in from 5 minutes to 12 hours. And if there's a trouble, it will be 24 hours. So the clients are looking for someone that is in a good position to help them and wants to help them.
So you, in your business, you're the only person doing all these things. Like you're answering every single email and everything. So you don't have. Do you have any team members who are working with you, or you're kind of like the one man operation?
That's true. So I'm making everything right now. So I'm very busy and I'm very tired of that. So right now I'm hiring someone, and I'm gonna have an assistant to manage more stuff. In fact, gonna manage like technical stuff and logistic stuff to give me some more time to deal with the clients. And while we are going to grow in Mexico, this person is gonna handle everything related to the clients. My biggest concern right now to get help with me is I need someone able to manage to handle a lot of things. So handling a lot of things with the languages is too difficult for me to find. So I'm gonna find someone able to help me on the Mexican market, and after that, I will be looking for someone to be able to help me on the client relationships in every language.
So you're not running any ads or any, like Google ad or Facebook ad. You're not. Your primary thing right now is really SEO.
No, I've been trying. I've done some stuff. I've been paying publication for SEO purpose in French several times with no results. I was working with a marketing agency like a few months ago or about Instagram marketing with no results. Also with Facebook marketing with no results. And maybe I could find someone able to do it, but I'm used to see results in my SEO in up to 6 to 8 months. So if I'm paying someone for 6 months in for Instagram marketing or Facebook marketing with no results, it's not a good deal for me. And I don't have time to learn and to handle this kind of project right now, because what I do in SEO is very effective. I know it very well. So I'm just, I think the most intelligent manner to handle my time right now is just to focus on what I know, because I can have an idea of the results of my marketing. And after that, in a few months or years, I will be able to manage some resource to maybe another kind of marketing. But right now, I mean, SEO, there's such a huge market open to me. I just want to focus on that.
In terms of your fulfillment and shipping, because you're shipping out an expensive item, can you share a little bit of like, do you insure every package that you ship, like just in case everything gets lost or stolen or something like that? Can you share a little bit on how do you ship your items?
Yeah, well, I've got a cheap way. I use clients can choose between like common shipping, like Mexican post office and a UPS service. So I've got choice depending on the cost. The client can choose, and up to a certain price, I just tell them to use UPS. And I've got my own insurance to be able to deliver the goods on time. on time. It's always fast with UPS, but I mean to deliver the goods. In case of problems, I've got my own insurance. Okay, for all is that the Mexican post office, there's no insurance. So my clients, they do know if they choose it, there's no insurance. If they want the insurance, they have to choose UPS.
Okay.
And
So,
there's
I
always
mean,
tracked. So I mean, while I'm tracking the products, I'm always able to locate them. And honestly, in 10 years, I think I've lost one package. I'm not. I think I've lost one with a cheap way of shipping. This is only one time something happened. So I mean, in 10 years, it's nothing.
oh, yeah, I mean, one package in 10 years is, yeah, nothing. That's really great. So when you look at your business in the future, like 5 years down the road now, I know you said that now you're focusing on the US market and the Mexican market. Like, where do you see yourself, your business in like 5 years or so, like 10 years?
Okay,
Do
first,
you want to continue it being like just focusing on custom jewelry, or do you want to create more of like jewelry lines that people
yeah.
can just go on your
Good
website
question.
and shop?
Good question. Well, I've already seen like 2 years ago that the custom jewelry is too much work for me because I've got many things to manage. So I already started to make more common jewelry, already made jewelry design that I hope to be different from the others. But I do grow this line of products. Because it's easier for me to sell a design that's already known from me and to make them one or two pieces with other jewelry. I know the design because a custom design is always a lot of work before the sale, during the sale, and after sale, usually no, but it's a lot of work and this work is on me. So if I'm growing with custom jewelry, I have no way to get out to have a life in this business. So I'm already doing that. Right now, I want, in 5 years, I want to have a staff because right now everything is on my shoulders. So I'm already hiring an assistant right now. I hope to have like 2 or 3 assistants with me in few years to be able to manage the marketing and to handle clients without me because right now I'm the, how do you call it? I'm the
Weak link.
yeah, I'm the weak link of the business. I mean, so I'm trying to do that. And this is my main focus. And I'm already looking for a young guy to teach jewelry because I already tried to get some other guys to work in the team to make the jewelry, but I have problem here in Mexico. When the guys, they have already 35, 40 years, they are difficult to teach the way I want them to work. So we're gonna have someone this year to come work with us, a young guy. So my guys can teach him how to work like we are used to work. And so we should come from 3 to 5 people with me by the end of 2023. And I hope after that to be able to grow the administrative staff and marketing staff to help me on handling the clients and the marketing task.
So looking back, at a certain point in your life, you made the decision to go in this direction. And you said, I think previously you said, it was, if it was a mistake, better to make it then than, later on. Looking back, like, do you think that you made the right decision? Like, I mean, your life could have been very different if you were in France and you were just doing your, engineering thing in
Yeah.
aerospace industry or something. Are you satisfied with your life now?
Yeah. Well, it has been difficult when I started. I had no way to go back in France when I arrived in Mexico after 1 or 2 years. I had no money at all. I had no business. I had no business experience to sell me for another project after that because I was failing when I started. So it was quite depressive. I mean, I arrived in Mexico in July 2012, and my wife got pregnant in November. And I had no money, no business, and no friends, no family, no relatives. It was difficult. And it has been a big challenge. And maybe because I know where to go back to France or to do anything else, I was just focusing on going forward. I think maybe this helped me a lot because, you know, everybody makes mistakes, but you need time to learn from your mistakes and to solve the problem. So in my situation, the only thing I've done is to fail, to learn, and to make it better. And right now, no, I'm very happy to be here because the place where we are living is very nice, and I'm making more money here than when I was working in France, and the cost of life is half what it was in France. And I'm just thinking of growing more. I think I can grow my business 10 times. It just I don't do it because I don't have the employees and I don't have the right mindset. So I try to change my mindset to get more employees to help me grow. And I'm just happy because it's funny to learn how to grow business. I mean, I try to follow people online, coach, marketing experts to always try to grow. Most of them are in the US, in North America. And it's challenging, but it's very funny. So I'm very happy to have made this choice. And to feel I don't depend on economic situation or the government. I mean, I just feel in power of my own destiny. And it's not about money, just about feelings that I deal with in my life. I think you understand what I mean. It's you are in charge of your life, and you know that if there's a problem or trouble, I will have to find a solution. And that's it.
Definitely. I mean, no, I think every entrepreneur, to me, it sounds like you were an entrepreneur by heart, even before starting your business.
No, before now, no. I learned to, but I was not thinking like this because I know example, I know no way to. I know way to see the things like this because I knew no entrepreneurs in France, and so I know way to think like this. And that's when I tried to do it in Mexico. I started to meet other entrepreneurs in Mexico and to deal with my problems. And I mean, when you're an entrepreneur, you read a book from other entrepreneurs and you say, okay, I understand this guy because I've been living the same situation, or I was thinking something similar than him. And it's very funny. I mean, every entrepreneur in each country, they do have the same mindset to make it succeed.
Yeah, I think the difference between a person. So some people are, I think, naturally more entrepreneurial than others, right? So some people are more entrepreneurial. They are always looking for new ideas or to sell something. And I think for every entrepreneur, there's like, they want, like, the biggest value, I think, for entrepreneur is freedom, right? Which I think you've discovered. And for anyone who's not naturally an entrepreneurial person, because they don't think in an entrepreneurial way, they kind of, they get into the job, like a 9-to-5 job kind of a route, and then they're so always dependent on that job and the weekly salary, bi-weekly salary, or whatever they're getting, that in a way they kind of forego their freedom. To me, it almost seems like you're coming from a non-entrepreneurial background, but because you had to go through this process of learning and creating your own business, now you realize how the value of having control of over your own life and freedom, even though you have to work probably 10 times harder than, like, if you were working just in like a regular job or something, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, freedom is relative because I've been working a lot on my business, much more than being an employee. That's for true, but for a lot of entrepreneurs, I started the online business idea because of the book of Tim Ferriss, 4 hours work week, and I've never been working 4 hours a week. But I mean, it's the same for everybody, I think. But the main difference, I do really enjoy working on my business. This is a difference. It's became an obsession. It became a passion. Right now, I'm looking for someone to help me to have some more free time for me, but I hope to be able to think better and in spite of making low value stuff. And what the fun and the liberty is I can handle the money of the business the way I want. I can start a new business idea. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm importing some goods, jewelry tools from the China for my business and to resell them. So I'm just starting this year to do that. I'm expecting the shipment this week or next week. And this is another business idea that's very easy for me right now to handle because I can buy, I can import, and I can resell. And in the future, I hope I will be able to start a gemstone business online in Mexico because there's no business such a business in Mexico. And this is my line also because I need gemstones. So the freedom is there to be able to set up new ideas, to partnership with other entrepreneurs, and to make my own ideas grow and giving birth to more cash flow, more employees, and at the end, well, it's fun to do it. It's fun to do it. So why not doing it?
Definitely, for sure. So now we're going to move on to our rapid fire segment. And in this segment, I'm going to ask you a few questions and you have to answer them maybe in one or two words or a sentence or so.
Yeah, okay.
So the first question is one book recommendation. Do you have any recommendations for any books?
For other entrepreneurs?
Yeah.
From my own errors, it will be to know the market you are focusing on. It was the biggest mistake I made, and know your market. I think it's even more important than the competition is to know the market. I mean the clients you have and the values they have. It's a first most important step.
Was there any book that you read?
Okay, yeah, I told you I read the 4 Hours Work Week, but I think everybody read it. I read a book that's very, very interesting. I'm trying to implement right now. It's a book for the one-page marketing plan from Allan. He's an Australian guy. I read it like last year, and I read it like twice. And the concept he has about business, and it's very interesting. And I do really want to implement this stuff. I'm just lacking time to do it, but I want to make it happen because it's brilliant. The guy didn't invent nothing, but the way he presents it and the way he make it easy to understand and to implement is really phenomenal. And the funny thing is, I really heard about his book. I discovered this book by chance, so I think it's really very interesting book because you can draw a map of your business from day one, and you know if it's gonna work or not. So the one-page marketing plan is a really good book.
Awesome. A business or productivity tool or software that you would recommend, or a productivity tip?
Well, I use the main tool I use in my case keyword research tools because I'm working on online for marketing. So I've got 2 tools I use right now, and this is the biggest where I get more leverage to get results in my business. Back then, when I started SEO, I was using like 5, 6, 7 different tools, and I got lost using so much tools. Right now, I just use 2 keywords research tools, and with that, I make it.
Which ones are those, if you don't mind me?
The first one is called SEO SE Cockpit. SE Cockpit. It's from a company called Swiss Marketing. So it's they've got several tools. I just use the keyword research tools, and the other one is cheaper. It's called Key Search Tool. It's half the price, I think, and I find a good combination on checking on both tools about the volume market, the value of PPC for each keyword, and to give me more keywords ideas. And for the work I do right now on my marketing, it's the only tool I use. It's very, very efficient. When I do really try to make backlinks, and I'm working on that, I pay like Ahrefs service, Majestic SEO or Moz for a few months because it's quite expensive for me to pay all year long because I don't use them so much. I use them for 1 month, and after from that I get the data, I can make the job. So I use those tools to get deeper into the studying or the market on my website. But the tools I use all year long, they are keywords research tools.
Okay. A startup or business in e-commerce, retail, or technology that you think is currently doing great things. So another business that is doing great things, you think?
A business I feel are doing a great stuff.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm sorry.
No.
Well, I've got one guy. It's the same. It's SEO marketing. It's called Brian Dean. The funny thing is, he started his business online of SEO marketing business like 1 year after me, about the same as me. And this guy had a marketing growth insane. And I've been paying. He's my teacher. My teacher. I've been paying a course from him, and I always thought that the value provided on his blog and on the course he sells are very valuable. And also, I'm very impressed the way he do make the sales and the way he makes the business. Very, very interesting. This is typically an American idea because I never thought as a French to have this kind of business idea. I think it's brilliant, and I'm very interesting each time this guy is producing content or doing some stuff online. Is the time I follow a lot.
So Brian Dean, I think his website is called Backlinko, right? Backlinko.com.
Yeah, Backlinko. Yeah, he's very well known because he's quite famous. But I've discovered this guy back in 2013 or 14 when he was just starting. And I was already seeing that it was very, very helpful, the content he was providing. And since then, I've seen him like exploding. And well, it's deserved.
Last question. Best business advice that you ever received or you would give to other entrepreneurs?
The best advice?
Business advice, yeah.
Oh. Well, I think best advice is even when you fail, you're an entrepreneur. Because when I started, I lasted like 18 months to realize I was an entrepreneur while I was failing because I was seeing me as a failure and not an entrepreneur. And I think what they don't tell you when you start is you have the right to fail. You're going to be failing. And I think that's the main difference between an entrepreneur and an employee is an employee he will never risk himself to fail, while an entrepreneur is going to, like 80% of the time, he's going to fail in some way. And after that, he's going to learn and going to make it happen. I think this is the main difference. And it's very important for your pride to see you, even if you're failing, you're an entrepreneur. I think when you're failing, you're an entrepreneur, because if the only way to be an entrepreneur is to have success, it's not being an entrepreneur.
Definitely, that's a great advice. Well, Nicolas, those were all the questions that I had. Thank you so much for your time today, for joining me today from Mexico. Yeah, really appreciate you sharing your very unique and interesting story and all the hard work that you've put into your business to
welcome,
build your business.
Thank you. Thank you a lot for your question. I was pleased to answer.
Awesome. Thank you so much again.